Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Glossy Philosophy. My name is Jansen Binman. Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up because we're doing another trend video that is very wearable. It is the bold lip with a minimal eye, and I think it's just a great way to participate in the season, so stay tuned. I've already washed my face and done my skincare, so we are going to start by correcting the under eye or anywhere where there's a little bit of discoloration. I find that even if I'm not super purple or blue underneath the eye, just putting a little bit of a corrector, a peachy pink underneath the eye really helps to just brighten up that area, especially if I'm going to go in with my concealer a little bit later. So now we are going in with the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. This one is clear, taking it on the ring finger and bringing it all the way from the lash line up to the brow. Now I've used quite a few oils and very slippy emollient things this morning, so I can feel that the product is kind of slipping around. So I am going to go in with a brush and just make sure that everything is nice and smooth, because you don't want any extra buildup, because that can wreak havoc on your eyeshadows a little bit later. Now we're going to tightline the eyes with the Seamless Eye Glide from Lisa Eldridge, and I'm just lifting up my lid and getting right into the roots of the lashes. There's one more step that I want to do, which is line my lips, because we are going in with quite a dark color from Charlotte Tilbury called Night Crimson. I'm going to take my lip pencil by Lisa Eldridge in Petal and start on my Cupid's bow, go down to the base, and just start to fill in. For me, I'm starting to find that when I use a darker, richer color, if I don't have a lip pencil down, it kind of departs the area that I want it to be. So we are just going to go straight in with Night Crimson. And this is a really great point. So you could use a lot of detail with this. You could use a lip brush, or you could just go straight with the bullet. So that's a really good first coat, and now I'm just going to take my finger and soften those edges. Whenever I do a lip look like this, I always have Mary Greenwell in the back of my head saying, don't make it too perfect. Make it look a little bit lived in. I'm going to let that sit on my lips for a little bit, but I do want to add a little bit more depth to this color, so I am going to go in with a second coat that will also help with longevity, and of course a gloss as well. So when we're thinking about the trend of the darker lip, we're thinking Fendi, we're thinking an old Bobbi Brown campaign. I mean, this is something that pops up every couple of years where we go out with a really rich dark oxblood or night crimson, something like that on the lips, and everything else is very minimal. Within that minimalness on the eyes, you can go with something like the Charlotte Tilbury Sophisticate palette. You can also go with something like Lisa Eldridge's Cressida. We're going to combine the two because I'm seeing, that's exactly what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a little bit of shine, a little bit of sheen on the lid, and then the rest of the face is pretty matte because we want to keep the focus onto the lips. Now we also have this trend of glass skin, of glossiness happening as well. So that's just something to keep in mind. You can mix and match trends. You don't have to copy the Fendi campaign. You don't have to copy a runway look exactly. You can kind of mix and match. I'm seeing lots of highlighted inner corners, but I always like to do that at the end. So now we're going to go in with the Sophisticate palette from Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm really just going to be playing with these upper shades. Again, I don't want to draw the attention away from the lip. I want this to be a lip look with minimal eye makeup. I'm going in with the 203 right into that light, the lightest shade, and I'm just going to gently pat that right on top of Cressida. We already have a little bit of light going on the lid, but I want to solidify that a little bit more. Then I'm going to go in with my 201 into the medium light brown shade. It kind of reminds me of taupe from MAC. Bringing a little bit onto the lid and then up into the socket and the crease. I'm just trying to create definition, some kind of separation between my lid and the upper part. So now we have our sheer wash of color all over the lid and into the crease. I'm going in with a clean 217, and I'm just going to soften everything that we just did because, again, we want everything to be seamless and very minimal up here. Before I do my liner, I'm going to do my brows because I want to make sure that everything is speaking with everything else, and I also want to make sure that I'm giving enough liner wherever is needed. So starting at the root of the brow, working my way up, filling in anywhere where there's little gaps. I always feel like a filled in brow and a nice lip is such a great look. It really makes a lot of sense with symmetry and just balancing everything out. And then of course before we do our liner we also should do a little bit of complexion. So I'm going to take my T5 from Lisa Eldridge, put that on my hands, and just blend that out with my finger. We have quite a heavy lip. We want the rest of the face to be a little bit more see-through, a little bit more natural. If I feel like I need to, I can go in with a brush, pat in where we need a little extra coverage, and do painterly motions where we need to blend out. And at this point we can also do our concealer. So I'm taking my GIORGIO Armani, just taking that doe foot, wrapping it around my finger, my ring finger, and then blending out, bouncing my finger on to my under eye area. Again, this is very quick complexion compared to the amount of time we're spending on creating a really good conversation between our eyes and our lips. Going back in with my #1 brush from Lisa and just tapping in wherever I need to. And I am using quite a few liquid products, so I'm going to go in with my liquid highlighter, and I'm also going to go in with my liquid contour. Ever since my show this summer using it, I've become quite obsessed with it. A few years ago, I could not figure out how to make it work, and now I feel like getting back into stage work has really forced me to figure it out, and I really, really like it. It's so much more subtle, and I feel when you're drier, just doing creams, doing liquids is very, very helpful. I'm going to go in with the 101, which is actually a foundation brush, but I find it works really well with this product if you don't want to use your beauty blender. If you want to save that for travel, for stage, for whatever, you can just really lightly pat this in and it blends beautifully. Charlotte did such a great job on this product because you don't really want this to move around that much. You basically just want to blend out the edges and soften that color a little bit. I can bring whatever is left on my brush up around my temple and then up onto the forehead and just make sure that everything is nice and blended. Of course, you can always go back in with your foundation brush. Make sure you're brushing up if you need to blend out any of this line. You don't want to drag your face down by blending it down. So now we are ready for powder and to finish off the rest of the look. I'm going to go in with my Givenchy powder, which I've tapped off into this cap. Take my blush powder brush and just do a very quick powdering job through the center of the face mostly, and making sure that I'm locking in all those cream products that I just used. I'm going back in with my 217 with just a little bit of that medium brown shade, or that light brown shade, and just going back over anything that maybe got disrupted when we were doing our complexion. And now we are ready for our Kajal liner, which will just work right into the roots of the lashes. And then I'm using that sponge to just gently, that top edge, to make it just a little bit more a part of the look. I'm grabbing Lisa's Kitten Flick to just do my kitten flick. Before I go in with mascara, I'm going to leave my eyes alone for a moment. I'm going to go in with Charlotte Tilbury's Night Crimson, add just a touch of gloss, which is Cinnabar from Lisa Eldridge. I know she just got rid of this one, but I think something similar will be coming along. And then we're going to go back in with Cressida and just add a little bit of light on this inner corner. And I'm actually going to do this with a brush. So I'm going to take 207. I grabbed a little bit of Cressida on my ring finger, but I think my finger is going to be a little bit too big for that area. So it just adds just the prettiest little light reflection right there. And you can decide how extreme you want to go. You can really blend this out if you want to. And then I'll finish up the look with my Tarte Duo, the primer and Lights Camera Lashes. And that is the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching this bold lip look. It's another trend one that I think is actually very wearable. I'm loving what I'm seeing in campaigns from Fendi and also on the runway. I think it's a very wearable look and it's a really fun way to participate in the season without going overboard. I do fashion videos every Wednesday, beauty videos every Friday. Make sure you're watching me on the shorts and on Instagram in between the longer videos because I'm doing lots of before and afters and lots of outfit inspo to make your life a little bit easier and a little bit more glossy. And I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye!